Hello, it's me again. I'm coming here to show you the last type of kit that you can get from Stampin' Up! Today. So this is called Paper Pumpkin, and this is a monthly subscription kit. It also shows you on the side which one you're looking at. So every month they will have a new theme. This is January 2024's month. It was called Lovely Lavender, and now they're pairing them up with sweets and stuff in the catalog so that you can prolong your stamp sets and coordinate if you're wanting to make other projects. So Paper Pumpkin comes to you monthly, gets billed out on the 10th of the month, and then whatever time it takes for shipping to get to your home, usually about a week or week up to 2 weeks, sometimes longer depending on where you're from. Paper Pumpkin is a subscription. Like I said, it'll come monthly. It includes all the things that are in a stamping kit, and the first time you get a Paper Pumpkin, you will get a Paper Pumpkin block to go with it, and then they suggest that you have scissors and a bone folder and all those other supplies, but they give you the stamp set, an ink spot, and then everything else you need to do the project. Now, the thing with Paper Pumpkin is you don't know what's coming. So Paper Pumpkin is a surprise. They'll give you a little preview of what's coming. Like, we know there's something coming for next month that has a little bunny in it and a little duckling. So we do get these little previews of things to kind of hint us. So it's a little bit more fun when you don't know what's coming, if you're okay with that. Another thing you can do with Paper Pumpkin is you can pause your subscription if you think that you might not like the kit that's coming. So when they show you those little sneaky peekies and you're like, I don't know if this is for me, this isn't my style, you can pause it and then your subscription will go to the next month, so you won't get charged that month. So prepaid subscriptions on Paper Pumpkin are for 3 months. You can get 3 months for $96.50. Prepaid subscription for 6 months is $175.50, and prepaid subscription for 12 months is $336, and I believe you get a free kit for the 12-month or 1-year subscription. Okay, so now that I've done all that talking, let's open this up and have a look-see. I have opened this up already myself because I did use this stamp already, so mine's already stained with red ink, but it still works just fine. Okay, there's your ink spot. Right, this month we have Gorgeous Grape, and here is our kit for this month. So the kits can be all different kinds of things. Most of the time there's some sort of card. Other times there's little boxes and stuff. So I'll show you this one, and then I'll show you some of the other things that they've come out with. So this one here is going to have 4 cards, 8 cards, and looks like 4 tags with envelopes. So let me just pop that back down for a second, and then I'm going to move this aside and show you some of the other ones that have come in. So this one here was July of last year, and these are fun fold cards. So you get the envelopes again, but they've made these ones where they have like pop-up elements, and they're just fun folds, so you can put them on the mantle and show them a little bit. They're a little bit more fun, a little bit more tricky to do, but everything you can do here is geared towards beginners. They give you really good instructions. Another thing they've done, this was in the past, this was all the way back to 2018. They did little note cards, and then these little boxes that you could put a set of note cards in if you wanted to. So yeah, because there's 4 of each card. Yeah, so that they were giving you a little box to go in with them. So sometimes they'll add something that's just a little bit more fun, just a more fun element. This one here was for Spooky Treats. This was 2022. This was some boxes that were made for Halloween treats. You could put a couple little small candy bars in there. So it just kind of gives you an idea of like some of the other things that they do. But again, you have no idea what's coming. So you can either give them away if you're not fond of them. They're a lovely little gift to give someone, or you can do alternatives with them. Try and figure out a way to make them work for you. But yeah, so I'll bring this back and we will go through and I'll show you how to do it. It'll be very similar to yesterday's video, but just so you can see how much they give you here. Okay, so I organize things always by going on with this first page. This is how you figure out what you need. You can see there's a lot of elements in here, so this is really nice. And it looks like we've got two-sided paper again, so you could use that paper to make other things. Okay, so we'll start getting our contents. We're going to pull out our stamp set, put it aside, our little gorgeous grape here, put that aside. They also just this month started making these labels so that we can store our stamp sets and be all organized if we so choose. Something I like to do is organize, but not not when I'm creating. Not very organized at all. Okay, then we've got these. We've got our glue dots and our dimensionals. We've got all of our kit contents here. I'll put that box aside. Envelopes are always nice. Looks like we've got two different kinds, and the paper goes halfway through. So we've got a halfway through paper. You can mail your cards in these envelopes, white on the other side. We've got 4 of the polka dot pattern and 4 of the lovely watercolor pattern. Yeah, you can mail your stuff off in those if you like, or repurpose them. We've got one of these. Okay, so it looks like these tags are popping out of the center here, so we will put that aside. I'm going to put that on the right hand side here. So the first one's calling for this tag, which just popped out of here. So the one tag. This one's going to be card number 2, so I'll put that aside. We've got card number 3, which is this. Put that aside. I need some of these bits in here. This is card number 2, so I'll take these pieces, put them aside. Card number 2. And there's card number 3. Okay, and what are we calling for here? I need a... They've given me extras in case I mess up, it looks like, which is great. Because you never know, sometimes you do. A lot of times if you mess up and you stamp incorrectly on one side, you just flip it over and do it on the other side. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. They'll never know. Okay, so we've got one of those. This square one goes for card number 2. And this little teeny weeny square, what's that one for? Oh, this is for card number 3. Can you see? Yeah, card number 3. Put that piece aside. Now we've got this purple square here. I personally like this shape when you go like this and you use it. There's something about having it that way. Just makes it visually more appealing, but I don't think I can pull that off. Okay, that's going to be on card number 3. So we'll put these aside now, making sure I got everything here. Okay, let's pull out, I only need one of these. One of these. I'm sure I only need one of these. So it looks like this one here is for the first. And yeah, these pieces just pop out. I mean, you want to be you don't want to be gentle. You're not very rough, right? So we've got, this one's going to go on our tag. got this big sprig here. That one's going to go on number 2. We've got this little one here. And that looks like it's going to go on number 3. So that's done. This piece here, we're going to pull out one of these. It looks like I've got some extra sprigs. It looks like they gave us some extras. This one goes on card number 3. So we've got a lot of elements in this card already. I feel like I've been pulling pieces out for a while now. Put this one aside and we'll work with this one. So how many of these do I need? I need one of these for number 3. A long one for number 3. I need this triple one. For number 2. And 1 and 2. So it looks like I've got extras, maybe. No, maybe not. Maybe not extras. Okay, then I need a love for number 3. And I think I've gone through all the elements now. Okay, last things I need are these glue dots. We need dimensionals, which are these little hexagons, just means dimensionals. I'm going to need some string, but I'm not sure the measurement yet. They're going to tell me that inside. This one here, looks like I've got all my elements. I'm just going to need some string again. And this one here, I'm double checking. I think I have everything. Okay. So now we'll start making our projects. Let's open up our ink spot here. Now, if you have a full-size stamp pad for this, you can always pull that up. And use that instead. I'm always scared I'm going to hit myself with my scissors. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay today. Let's put those aside. I'm going to pull in my Paper Pumpkin stamp pad, and today I brought in my Stampin' Scrub stamp cleaner here. I just had struggles yesterday working with, so I'm just going to spray it with some stamp cleaner. You can use baby wipes if you want. I'm just spraying this off camera here. But I found it just easier to clean them after. I was struggling a little bit with cleaning. All things you don't realize. So, okay. So 1, 2. So they are telling you that this is going to be separated, and they're just telling you to keep the one piece there. Then we're going to stamp just a little something for you onto our little tag here. And we're going to use our gorgeous grape. So let's pull our tag out. And if I want to try and be straight with it, I can line it up with my grid paper, or just look through my stamp set here. I've stained this pretty bad, but I think I should still be able to see pretty good. I am going to stamp this off just to see how I'm doing with it. So I'm just going to stamp it to the right here, just as a tester. Wow, that looks great. Looks great. Looking good today. Like I said yesterday, you don't have to have a stamp pad cleaner, a stamp pad cleaning thing. You can just use baby wipes. Just trying to get ones with, you know, less fibers on them to pull off. But yeah, baby wipes work just fine, especially when you're doing big events. You can't be having that Stampin' Scrub everywhere. Okay, so we're just going to center here. Just going to tuck my head under. Just a little something for you. Up and down. Looking great. That's such a nice saturated purple. Put that aside. So it's saying 12 inches of this string. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of string for one little tag. That's going to be a long tag on that. Let's see how I feel about it. So there's usually a little end here. You can pull, you'll find it just if you're finicky enough with it. Then I'm going to use my paper here and I'm going to measure. I'm going to go from here. So it's saying 12 inches. I don't feel like I need that much. So I'm just going to actually, I think I'm going to make that 10. I think 10 should be just fine. Going to use my paper snips, snip that off. Okay, and this one's fairly simple. They're just got these 3 things at the end here. It's really simple. We're just going to put 2 dimensionals from that pack. 1, 2. Glue dots, which I can use my glue dots. I'm just going to go on the computer here to see if I can see what's going on here. Let's give it a try. Look at that. I should be able to see your comments now. If you're on watching, I should be able to have a look-see at any comments. Perfect. Okay. Glue dots on the back of the green sprigs here. Looks like they're putting one kind of in there. You kind of want to hide them if you can. If you can't hide them, just roll them kind of in your fingers and then place them on. That works when you've got really small pieces or you're trying to get one on the stem. That'll work just fine. So they've kept the tops of them quite loose. That adds just a little bit more freedom to them. You can curl them if you want. Take your bone folder and give them a little curl. That will add a dimension to them that is visually appealing. In peeling? What is that? In peeling. Yeah, so then you just get that extra dimension to them. Anyways, we'll keep going. We're going to take the backings off of these little glue dots. I'm glad I've got my take your pick here because I can pick underneath and leave the adhesive behind. Pick again. The tips of your paper snips will work too to getting those off. And they've got it placed just on the left here. And one of the little leaves is coming, oh, they've got it kind of coming off like that. Okay, and then you take the backings off your dimensionals. I saw somebody do this. It was great. She just poked it and pulled. Comes right off. Right off, super easy. Just a little something for you. They've put that, oh, kind of going off the end a little bit. As you can see, I'll show you, I'll bring it up closer. So yeah, they've kind of got it going off the side. I guess just to add that extra dimension to it. And then they have tied it on, but I'm just going to do the fun little loop through where you're going to just place this through the front of the back of the hole here, and then you take your ends, you put them through that loop, and then just pull up, and there it is. So there's your first little project, is this cute little tag. That purple foil accent they have on there really adds just a nice little bit of class to that. And then you would just put that on your bag and then choose your card to go with it. Okay, so we'll put that one aside. That's project number 1 done. 1 is done. Okay, then we're going to flip over from page 1 here and flip over to card number 2. Okay. It looks like they want you to put a whole bunch of adhesives on these little sprigs here first, and they're doing them from the front because they pop out through the window that they've created. So I'll put that aside in the frame again. We've got to get our pieces on the, oh, there was 2 of these. You know what? Sometimes I miss that. So let's double check. Did it say 2 times? No, it's saying 1 here. But why do I feel like there's 2 here? No. It's this and this that makes me feel like there's 2, but I'm thinking it's just the 1 and 1. I'm going to go with 1 and 1, so I'm just going to go with 1 and 1. Okay. So they've got glue dots on the bottom and the bottoms. So let's do that. Put our glue dots on the bottom here. 1, 2. Okay. And this one they're placing. Come on, off you go. You know you wanna. Let's get off of there. Okay, 2. Then they're saying to place this on oh, it lines up just right. So directly on top. There you go. Then you're going to take it and you're going to place it on the back of this one. So let's grab those 2 glue dots and get those off of there. Those backing pieces. That was a little easier than last time. Just not playing hard to get now. Oh, just kidding. Okay. 2. Flip that over. And then they have this just sitting on this side. It looks like it's coming right down. I'll get you really close here. It looks like it's coming right off the edge here. So a little more to the right. So that all the bits and pieces will fit inside the card envelope. So it looks like you might have problems getting it in the card envelope if there's little pieces off the side there. So let me just, I hadn't fully adhered it, so I'm just going to move it over a little bit. Make sure those pieces are within that frame. There we go. That's better. Then it's saying to add lots and lots and lots of dimensionals. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 7, many, obscene amount. No, just quite a few. And then if you look on that too, it looks like these pieces have been pushed through to the front. So your dimensionals can go in the back here. Yeah, so they've tucked those through. Now, using that little trick, I'm just going to use my take your pick tool and just poke all these off. I mean, wow, talk about easy. I think I've got too many now. Just toss those in the garbage there. The coolest, fastest little trick to getting those off. Okay. Now, I did a little hiccup and I, of course, did not fold my card base first. Always good to fold your card base first. I know I say it repeatedly, but I'm apparently not going to listen to my own advice. And then we're going to place this on the front of the card. It looks like I'm allowed to do that now, but these pieces are supposed to come through. So let's get those coming through, because they are supposed to come through and go out the front. It feels like they're resisting. Okay, looking pretty good. And look at those polka dots coming through the back. That's cute. This is the full size of the front of the card. So I did not put dimensionals on the backs of these flowers, and it looks like it called for 2. They were just kind of hiding there. I didn't really see it. So if I wanted to, in a pinch, I can just toss a couple back here. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. I'm just gonna cut them in half. See, when you do it with me, you're gonna learn what not to do, right? Which is helpful too, learning what not to do. I'm just going to pop up one behind this here, take that backing off. That's going to secure that. I'll take one of these little sprigs back here. I'm being quite gentle, so I shouldn't have any issues with any of this stuff ripping. We should be fine. And then, where did I have the most? I'll just put it on this. So they're just trying to get them to pop up a bit. Yeah, just be a little more secure. Looks fine, looking good. They've only got 2 placed on there anyway. You could really pop up a whole bunch more dimensionals under there just to make it better, but it looks good. It's doing just fine. And if you want to use your bone folder, curl up some of those leaves, give them a little bit of dimension. Could have done that before. I could even do the end of this little, the end of these. Oh, am I pulling this off camera? I am. The ends of these little, that gives more dimension too, just by curving these little leaves. You could have done them before they were on the card, just to get that little extra pop. Okay, now we're going to take our little piece here, our little square piece here, and we're going to stamp. So I'm going to remove the other stamp off of the ink blot, or the inking block, the stamping block. And I will put this on off kilter so I don't depend on it to be straight. And it's looking really straight on the block. Hoping you can still see that. Take my ink spot. Sometimes it's easier to just turn the ink spot upside down and put the ink on than it is to try and be finicky with that lid. I'll show you that in just a second. It's kind of stamping it off just to double check that it's going to work out okay. Sometimes when the ink spot is down like this, the lid keeps wanting to close. That's one thing. So then when you finally get, see, already I'm frustrated with that. You got to hold the lid down, and then you're kind of working with one hand, whereas when you do it the other way, you just have a little bit more control and just feel more control over that ink. So now we're just going to center this. It looks like it's centered right on there. And photopolymer, again, I can see right through the stamp, so I know where I'm putting my stamp. Looks good. Put that aside to be cleaned. Trade it off for another stamp. Okay, then we're putting our 12 inches again of the rope. I've got 12 inches again. So I'm kind of just looking up here at the end of my grid line here, my grid paper. 12 inches is a lot, but I'm going to follow the instructions this time. Love this twine. It's always been really good. They're saying put one ink spot in the middle here. I'm just going to use my fingers this time. even though I know my tools are better. Pull that backing off. This backing isn't as easy as those dimensional backings, but it's going to be fine. There's my twine. It's going to be fine with my twine. And we're going to go across. Do like a figure 8. Now, because this has been wound around a spool, it wants to maneuver a certain way. This is made to look kind of whimsical. It's not made to look exactly like the picture. When it goes on the card, it will just fall its own way. So you're kind of just making a figure 8. If you want a little more space to your twine, actually 12 inches looks like it's right on point. Why am I questioning? I don't know. Then we've got 1 and 2 dimensionals off the ends here. And because this is already popped up, if the dimensional falls off, like it's showing here, it's going to go into that void, it'll be fine because it's already, I would almost say if you wanted it to be the same level though as this side, you could stack 2 dimensionals. So now they're calling for that to go across the center here. So I'll tell you kind of what I mean by 2 dimensionals high. So because this one here is on the card, it's 2 spaces high. This one here has gone inside to the backing, so it's lower. If you wanted this to be even across, you could easily make that happen by just popping another dimensional on top of the one behind, and then it would look quite level. They've called for it to be done this way, so I'm just gonna stick with it this way, but I might have, if it was me, I don't feel like this is straight enough. If it was me, I might have popped that up. See, it naturally wants to be higher. I don't know if you can see that, but it naturally wants to be higher. You're having to push it into the hole to get it further down. I'm just going to go with the design for today. But if it was me, I would probably pop that up double time. Okay, so there is number 2. We'll put that aside. That's completed and done. Not too bad. Okay, number 3 looks like it might be the most, what would I say? Like the most, the one with the most stuff to it. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. It could be the easiest one of them all. Okay, so we're going to fold my card base this time. Do that right. They've got it in a horizontal position. I'm going to make sure you can see all these instructions. Okay. Then they've got the word width is going to go on the stamp block. Okay, I'm going to stamp that right away onto this little square spot because I will need my stamp pad back. Now, this one's dirty, so I'm just gonna, I didn't really clean it, so I'm just gonna lay it over there in the to be cleaned area. And because this is a brand new stamp, I haven't stamped with it yet, I'm going to stamp it off a couple of times just so I can get a nice clear image that isn't overly inked. Nice little tapping. Okay, with, now this is a teeny wee little piece. So I'm gonna have to tuck my head in underneath here and try and see if I can see this teeny piece. Center that stamp really lightly. There we go, with. I wish it was a little more clear, but that's okay. Okay, that one I cleaned that time because I need to pull it back and put on this image onto the stamping block right away. Okay, let's put on that one. I'm gonna wash this off one time. Try and get rid of some of that. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the camera here. That factory residue on there. There we go. Nice and cleaned off now. Ready to go. Okay. So now they're saying I need to stamp that inside this and directly square. So this is put onto the card in a square shape. Just like, see how it would look if it was like that? Kind of different, right? Just put it like that instead. Pretty, but they're calling for it to go straight. So we're gonna go with that. Just, you know, if you had one of these kits, or, and the other thing about Paper Pumpkin subscribers is if you wanted to refill the kits, yes, I never mentioned that. As a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get exclusive access to refills. So refills are all the kit contents except for the stamp spot and the stamp set. So you don't get the stamp set. I believe you still get dimensionals, glue dots, everything else you need to do. And it's just called a refill, and they're for a lower cost. I think it's like $10 for a refill. Okay, and we're centering that in the middle. That looks pretty good. Alrighty. Dimensionals on the back. Make sure I use my Take Your Pick tool to get those backings off again, because we can do that super fast that way. So we just poke and pull. Poke and pull. Poke and pull. Done. Fast, fast, fast. Okay, so they're putting that in directly in the center of the card. We're going to place that directly in the center. Now we get to deal with our little pieces here. So they've got glue dots on the backs of these two little flowers. Glue dots on the back of this one. And then they're asking for 12 inches of ribbon again. So let's pull our 12 inches again of ribbon. We have snow again in the Okanagan. We have been struggling with snow, playing hide and seek for quite a bit here. We had a green Christmas, but now we have snow back again. So we'll see how long it lasts, and hopefully we don't have too much flooding, although. And then there's other places across Canada that are overwhelmed with snow. It's, and to tell you, Mother Nature, she's a finicky one. Okay, we've got one ink spot here, or ink spot, one glue dot here, 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 and here. So we've got those in. And then for our little sprig of greenery here, we've got, looks like they've placed one in the center here and one on this little leaf here. Okay, and let's try and get these backings off again. If I take my pick tool and pull up and over, I think that's going to work out probably best. Up and over. Up and over. These lavenders always made me think of, I believe it's called the Luberon Valley in France, where there's fields and fields and fields of lavender. It's kind of like a dream to one day go to France and see that. Just see that. We do have a beautiful lavender farm here in Kelowna, though, that you can go, and I believe it's the end of June, July, that they go into bloom. Okay, so they have placed these just across. So they put the sprig on first. So we'll grab the sprig. We'll put it I got it kind of lined up, but it is going over the edge, so I think my stamp might just be a little bit off. Then they've got the long one on the right hand side. Oh, and over. I guess some of these are, the bottoms and the middles are going to be covered with another element. So that one's going between the two leaves. So we've got those there. And then let's grab our 12 inches of string. Or no, I already did that. Here's my 12 inches of string. And this one they're just tying a bow. Now, my upline always told me to just tie bows for people because bows can be very finicky to do. I did the rabbit ear way. There's other ways. You can also buy something called a bow maker, and it's just like a block, and then it's got 2 pegs in it, and you do this trick with it. Or you can use a fork. A fork is another great trick to tie the perfect bow. But yes, bows can be finicky. You're never gonna get them perfect the first time round. They're not even really showing the bow. It's kind of underneath this piece. So all of my little finicky work will be for naught. I think they want it to be a wide bow too. If I'm gonna go from here, I'm very accustomed to making my bows very cute and tight small bows, but they're calling for it to be wide. I think it's because they're trying to create that figure 8 look underneath again. Okay, and on the back of it, just to glue dot on the back, just to manage that properly. I just had a phone call come in. I forgot to put my do not disturb on. Okay, so there we go. Then next, oh, they're saying to cut these dimensionals in half for the little baby one. Okay, that's a trick. Take your dimensionals and cut them in half, and then you get smaller ones. And it is a easy way to get underneath some of those smaller elements. Now, where did that width go? Ha, there it is. Like, it's hiding. Okay, so they've placed that width. I'm sure that's going to go on after. Okay, then I'll work on these 3 that are going to go on to here. Our piece of little purple paper. 1, 2, 3. They're putting all the elements on here. I'm just going to do it on here. It'll be fine. So that is centered across the front. And let's try and make this straight, Gimme. Let's make this straight. It's harder to see if the elements are straight when you're working off to the side a bit and not over top of things. Sometimes you can't see if you're perfectly straight or not. Okay, I'm gonna just put a glue dot there. That's where it called for anyway. It's just a nice wide area, naturally wide area. And one on the love, on the L. Okay. And that's getting placed right in the center here. Fully centered to the purple piece. And then we have our little width. Popped up. And just slightly over the L there. But offset so that it's a little bumped up above. So with love. Okay, so then you would pick which one you wanted to give. So you could give the one that said Happy Valentine's Day with your present, or with love. If you're doing a Galentine's, you could just be like, with love, girls. And then this is just a little something for you. You would add that to your bag and you'd have a matching set. So aren't those just lovely? We will just put that aside. I'll grab the envelopes here so you can see. We'll put this envelope with this one here. We'll put this envelope with this one here. And then you've got your lovely little tag in the middle. And as you can see, you have an extra stamp that we never even used for any of these projects, was the word love. So you could take that stamp, make extra pieces, make your own little cards. Yeah, so there's usually always a couple of extra images that aren't used and are meant for you to just keep going, being creative. Okay, so here's your paper pumpkin. You can get refill kits for these, and they are a surprise. So they're not like when you buy a kit online, they are a surprise. But that just shows you that, yeah, there's 3 different ways of getting kits with Stampin' Up. You can get kits that are all inclusive. They come with 3 different languages a lot of the times, and these kind of pieces are all of the sentiments are included in it, but there's no stamp set. You can get kits that are stamping kits, and they come with a block, and very much like the paper pumpkin, but you know what you're getting. Or you can do the subscription, and then you don't know what you're getting, but you get exclusivity to refills, and you get those savings when you get extra. They can go towards celebration right now if you get the subscriptions prepaid ahead of time, and then you get free stuff, extra free stuff you can play with, which some of these, there's some free items that kind of go with some of these things. So yeah, if you like a surprise every month that gives you some creativity, this is probably the way to go. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope this gives you some insight into some of the things that you can, some of the kits that you can buy through Stampin' Up, and they're releasing 2 new kits every month for this year. 2 new. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.